The USA is not only famous for its haunted houses, castles, and historic buildings, but also for its eerie and mysterious forests. Across the country, countless woodlands are filled with chilling legends, ghostly figures, strange disappearances, and terrifying creatures. From the cursed devil's tramping ground in North Carolina to the dark pine barrens of New Jersey, these forests hold secrets that continue to scare visitors, proving America's wilderness can be just as haunted as its history. Now we will talk about the most haunted forests in USA. Number 1. Freetown Fall River State Forest. Deep in Massachusetts lies the infamous Freetown Fall River State Forest, a place that has earned a reputation as one of the most haunted and dangerous woodlands in America. By day, the forest seems calm and filled with natural beauty, but once the sun disappears, an unsettling silence takes over, and the land feels alive with something dark. Locals know this place well, and many refuse to enter after dark, calling it cursed ground. For years, people have spoken about strange gatherings deep in the woods. Campers and hikers have discovered crude stone circles, burned candles, and the remains of animals left behind after unsettling rituals. Some witnesses even claim to have seen hooded figures drifting between the trees, only to vanish before they could be approached. Mysterious lights are another chilling phenomenon here. Glowing red and white orbs appear between the trees, floating just out of reach. People say they follow the lights, thinking they are lanterns, only to be led into complete darkness, disoriented and lost. Visitors also report hearing voices in the silence of night. Some whispers call out names, while others scream in agony. These voices seem to come from nowhere, surrounding those who enter, leaving them frozen with fear. Drivers near the forest have encountered a ghostly hitchhiker. A pale young woman in torn clothing is seen along the road, waving for help. Many claim to have picked her up, but as soon as they reach the forest's edge, she vanishes from the car seat, leaving behind only the chilling memory. Native legends speak of small, sinister beings called pukwudgies that are said to roam this forest. Described as troll-like creatures with glowing eyes, they lure travelers from paths, play cruel tricks, and sometimes push people toward deadly falls. Those who claim to have seen them are left shaken for life. Some explorers of the forest have come face to face with violent apparitions. Figures of men and women appear suddenly, looking bloodied and broken as if caught in the moment of their tragic deaths. These phantoms often lock eyes with the living before vanishing, leaving behind an icy chill. Perhaps most frightening is the belief that the forest itself carries a curse. Those who disrespect the land often feel followed by an unseen presence that doesn't stop at the tree line. Dark shadows are said to cling to people, bringing them misfortune, sickness, or worse. The Freetown Fall River State Forest is far more than a stretch of wilderness. It is a place where the living and the dead seem to walk side by side. Once inside, every rustle of leaves and every shadow may hide something waiting to reveal itself. Number 2. Dudleytown Forest, Connecticut. Hidden deep in the woods of Cornwall, Connecticut, lies a place so feared that locals call it the Village of the Damned. Dudleytown Forest looks like a quiet, abandoned settlement, but its silence is heavy, filled with whispers of tragedy and curses. The forest now swallows the remains of what was once a small community, and many believe that every tree here holds the memory of suffering. Those who dare to step inside often describe an overwhelming feeling of dread, as if the land itself wants to push them back. One of the most disturbing accounts speaks of sudden insanity. In the past, settlers of Dudleytown were said to lose their minds without reason, driven to madness by something unseen. Even today, visitors claim to feel their thoughts twist into paranoia, hearing voices urging them into despair. Another haunting involves the disappearance of travelers. People walking the trails sometimes vanish without a sound, only to reappear minutes later, disoriented, unable to explain where they had gone. Others are never seen again, leaving behind only abandoned belongings. The forest is also known for black shadows that dart between the trees. These dark shapes are not human and move with unnatural speed. Witnesses describe them rushing past with icy winds, sometimes circling groups of hikers before vanishing into the ground itself. An even more unsettling incident is the appearance of ghostly faces in the darkness. Explorers often report seeing pale, glowing faces watching them from between tree trunks. The faces never blink, never move, and when approached, they dissolve into thin air. Animals seem to sense the evil here as well. Visitors report that birds and insects fall silent the deeper they go. Dogs refuse to enter, growling at the edge of the forest, and some animals that do cross the boundary are later found sick or dead. Some people describe hearing a deep, thunderous noise that shakes the ground beneath their feet, even on calm nights. This sound comes without storms, without explanation, as though the earth itself is groaning in pain. Finally, the land is said to carry a curse linked to the Dudley family who once lived here. Generations suffered misfortune, strange deaths, and madness, and many believe the family's restless spirits still walk the forest, spreading their misery to anyone who enters. Dudley Town Forest is not just an abandoned settlement reclaimed by nature. It is a place where despair lingers, shadows move with purpose, and the past refuses to die. Those who enter often leave with a piece of its darkness, a reminder that some places are never meant to be disturbed. Number 3. Allegheny National Forest, Pennsylvania. In the rolling hills of northwestern Pennsylvania lies the Allegheny National Forest, a vast wilderness stretching for more than 500,000 acres. To most, it looks like a haven for hikers, campers, and nature lovers, but those who know its hidden side warn that the forest carries a chilling presence. As night falls, its endless trees seem to close in, and an unsettling silence fills the air. Generations of locals have whispered that this is not just a forest. It is a place where the dead still roam. One of the most disturbing accounts comes from abandoned logging camps hidden deep in the woods. Visitors have reported the sounds of axes striking and men shouting, though no one is there. Some even claim to see spectral loggers moving through the mist, forever trapped in their final days of labor. Another terrifying incident involves ghostly lanterns. Hikers at night often see a flickering light bobbing ahead, as if someone is guiding them. But when they follow it, the light vanishes, leaving them lost miles from their path. The forest is also known for a terrifying phantom train. Along forgotten rail lines, people have heard the roar of engines, screeching metal, and the distant whistle of a locomotive. But the tracks have long been abandoned, and nothing ever appears. Equally unsettling are the reports of shadowy figures near the rivers. Campers fishing at night have seen human-shaped forms rise from the water, dripping but silent, before sinking back beneath the surface without a sound. Hunters tell of encounters with something darker, creatures with glowing eyes that stalk them silently. Some describe being watched for hours, hearing heavy footsteps, only to turn and find nothing there. There are also chilling accounts of voices echoing through the trees. Men, women, and even children's cries for help ring out, luring people deeper into the forest. Yet when searched, no one is found, leaving only the echo of screams. Perhaps the most frightening of all is the curse of sudden disappearance. Over the decades, hunters, hikers, and travelers have gone missing without a trace. Their campsites are found untouched, fires still burning, belongings left behind, but the people themselves are never recovered. Locals believe the forest claims them, keeping their spirits to wander among the trees. The Allegheny National Forest is more than wilderness. It is a graveyard of lost souls, restless echoes, and unexplainable horrors. For those who enter, every path feels like it hides a presence watching from the shadows. And once you hear the whispers of the forest, you may never escape them. Number 4. Ocala National Forest, Florida. In the heart of Florida lies Ocala National Forest, a sprawling wilderness of swamps, rivers, and thick pine woods. It may look like paradise in the sunlight, but when darkness falls, the forest reveals a side that leaves even the bravest trembling. Generations of locals warn that Ocala hides forces that can't be explained, shadows that follow travelers, voices that call from the water, and spirits that never allow the living to rest. One of the most terrifying accounts centers around the Silver Glen Springs. At night, visitors have reported ghostly figures rising from the water, their pale faces staring blankly before dissolving into ripples. Some believe they are the spirits of those who drowned here, forever trapped beneath the surface. Another disturbing incident comes from hunters who speak of hearing phantom drums and chants echoing through the trees. These sounds are said to come from ancient Native American rituals. The noise grows louder when anyone tries to follow them, then stops suddenly, leaving the forest in a suffocating silence. Equally chilling are the ghostly lights that appear in the swamps. Shimmering orbs drift across the water, luring travelers into the marsh. Some who followed them became disoriented, sinking into mud and nearly drowning before the lights blinked out, leaving them terrified and alone. There are also countless reports of children's laughter echoing through the woods at night. Campers swear they hear giggles circling their tents, sometimes followed by tiny footprints in the sand that vanish without a trace. Locals believe these are the spirits of lost children swallowed by the forest. One frightening legend tells of a phantom rider. Travelers on back roads describe seeing a man on horseback, galloping silently alongside them. His figure is shadowy, and his face hidden. Just as quickly as he appears, he vanishes into the trees, leaving behind a chilling sense of dread. The forest is also home to unsettling cries from the scrubland. Hikers often mistake them for panthers, but those who have heard them closely describe them as something far more human. Agonized wails that rise and fall until the night swallows them. Perhaps the most disturbing incidents involve sudden disappearances. Over the decades, campers and wanderers have left behind fully intact campsites with fires still burning, but they were never seen again. Locals whisper that the forest itself consumes those who stay too long, keeping their souls to wander among the trees. Ocala National Forest is more than a natural wonder. It is a place where beauty hides darkness, where every path may lead to a chilling encounter, and where once you enter, you may never truly leave. Number 5. Devil's Tramping Ground, North Carolina. In the pine woods of Chatham County, North Carolina, lies a strange patch of land known as the Devil's Tramping Ground. At first glance, it looks ordinary, a barren circle where no grass or plants ever grow, but those who know its reputation understand why locals keep their distance. For over 200 years, people have whispered that this is where the devil himself walks at night, pacing in circles, leaving behind a cursed ground that no life dares to touch. One of the most unnerving accounts comes from campers who tried to sleep within the circle. No matter how many times they placed their tents or chairs inside, by morning everything had been tossed outside the boundary, as if an unseen force had violently dragged it away. Another frightening incident involves people who stand inside the circle at night. Witnesses say they are overwhelmed with a crushing sense of dread. Some claim their minds fill with disturbing thoughts, while others become dizzy and disoriented, stumbling out as if the land itself rejected them. The circle is also known for glowing red eyes. On moonless nights, people report pairs of eyes staring at them from the trees, watching in silence. When approached, the eyes blink out instantly, leaving behind only the sound of footsteps moving in the dark. Animals refuse to cross the circle. Dogs growl and bark at something unseen, pulling their leashes to get away. Horses rear up in fear, refusing to step on the barren ground. Some locals believe animals can see the dark presence that humans cannot. There are also chilling accounts of shadowy figures drifting around the circle. These shapes appear tall and human-like but completely black with no faces. They move silently, circling anyone brave enough to stand near the barren ground before fading into the night. Many who visit also hear ghostly whispers. Some describe them as faint muttering, others as cruel laughter echoing around the circle. When followed, the sounds scatter, leading nowhere, leaving only silence and the heavy feeling of being watched. Perhaps the most disturbing events are the strange burns and marks on those who linger too long. Visitors have left with scratches across their arms or unexplained bruises, claiming something invisible attacked them. Locals believe these are the devil's warnings, reminders that humans do not belong here. The Devil's Tramping Ground is more than a barren circle. It is a place of pure fear, where the earth itself feels cursed. Step inside, and you may leave with more than you bargained for, because in this forest, darkness never sleeps. Number 6. Mark Twain National Forest, Missouri. Sprawling across southern Missouri, the Mark Twain National Forest is a place of beauty by day and terror by night. With over 1,000,000 acres of twisting trails, endless caves, and shadow-filled valleys, it has long been surrounded by legends of spirits, strange lights, and creatures that should not exist. Locals say once the sun vanishes, the forest takes on a life of its own, and those who wander too far into its depths may never find their way back. One of the most terrifying accounts centers on the phantom horseman. Travelers have reported seeing a rider on a black horse galloping through the trees, silent and headless. He appears suddenly, races past, and disappears into the mist, leaving behind only the sound of hooves echoing on the ground. Another chilling encounter involves the haunted caves hidden within the forest. Explorers stepping into these caves often hear faint screams or the sound of chains dragging. Some have claimed to see ghostly figures deep inside, their eyes glowing before vanishing into the rock. Equally disturbing are the lights that drift over the hills at night. Bright spheres float through the treetops, sometimes chasing hikers. People who followed them often reported losing hours of time, unable to remember how they returned to the trail. The forest is also infamous for cries in the distance. Hunters and campers speak of hearing women sobbing or children screaming in terror. When they rush to investigate, the sounds move farther away, leading them deeper into dangerous terrain before suddenly stopping. There are reports of dark, human-like figures lurking in the valleys. These shapes stand motionless, watching silently from the tree line. Witnesses who tried to approach say the figures dissolved into smoke, leaving behind an icy chill in the air. Legends also tell of cursed burial grounds hidden in the forest. People who unknowingly camp near them often wake to find strange markings in the soil around their tents, as if something had been circling them while they slept. Perhaps the most disturbing incidents involve hikers who vanish without a trace. Campsites are found intact, meals half-cooked, and fires still burning, but the people themselves are gone. Some locals whisper that the forest itself takes them, their spirits left wandering among the trees. The Mark Twain National Forest is far more than wilderness. It is a place where the living and the dead meet, where every shadow could be watching, and where the silence of night hides horrors waiting to be discovered. Enter at your own risk, because here, the darkness never lets go.